residents of Bentonville. As you may know, Bentonville lost nearly a third of its tax base in 2005 as a result of the expansion. This new expansion does not take any new land. It's simply a reconfiguration of the airport itself.
So how do you evaluate on the noise mitigation situation in Bentonville right now?
So we are constantly monitoring that. We have been a leader in the interim fly quiet, the IFQ plan, which is currently at the FAA for review. That plan will rotate the nighttime flight arrivals and departures on a weekly basis.
Yeah, do you think that is satisfactory?
It's a start. It's a step in the right direction. Over some of our densest neighborhoods on Hillside Drive, it should reduce the amount of flights above them by 25%. A 25% reduction of the status quo. We feel the status quo is unacceptable, so it's a step in the right direction.
So what is the time that this is a flying quiet project? So when is it?
Go ahead. It's the interim fly quiet project.
So you mean now it is still unsatisfactory? So what is the time that it is supposed to be to reach the goal?
So right now we are on the old fly quiet plan, which has a limited number of runways that we feel are over our residential neighborhoods, which is an incompatible land use. The FAA is currently reviewing the interim fly quiet plan, which would be the rotation plan. That process will take about 9 to 12 months to get approved by the FAA and get enacted by the CDA.
So after that new plan is implemented, like what is the percentage of reduction that you are expecting to achieve?
We believe on the parallel runways that the test patterns that we've ran, they will reduce the volume of flights by 25% on the parallel runways.
So with the O'Hare expansion project, there will be 20 million more passengers in the following 8 years if the project after the project is finished, and 25% increase in the gate capacity. So what kind of influence do you think this will bring regarding the jet noise issue?
Well, we feel the Village of Bentonville has always felt, and we've always encouraged the City of Chicago to finish the O'Hare modernization plan, which was approved in 2005. So far on that plan, they've only built out the southern airfield. We feel that the new $8.5 billion plan that has been unveiled, it will successfully build the runways on the northern airfield, giving a more balanced approach to flight patterns.
What is the project that you are referring to? Is that a sound installation program?
No, that's not.
That's not, okay.
So over the past decade or so, the City of Chicago has built some new runways on the southern airfield. What they haven't done is built the sufficient runways as the 2005 OMP plan, the O'Hare modernization project. They haven't built out the northern airfield. So what that means is the two longest runways are currently runways 10L and 10C. Those are on the southern airfield. We need to have two long runways built on the northern airfield of an equal or greater length. That way we can get adequate flight balance between the north and south airfields.
So why are you expecting the north runways to be built?
Because right now the southern runways are over residential neighborhoods and incompatible land use, in our opinion. So once the northern runways get built, it will achieve a more equitable distribution of noise. And for Bentonville, that will mean mostly over industrial areas, which we believe is a more compatible land use.
So, but what about the expansion program? Because it is another project, different from the modernization plan.
Actually, the announced expansion project is getting a lot of press. It's nothing new. It was unveiled in 2005. This is simply the final funding approach to finish that project.
So you mean that is like part of it have already been incorporated in the modernization plan?
There was a 2005 O'Hare modernization plan that was unveiled. That was a multi-year plan to essentially make the airport more efficient. That also included a large acquisition area in Bentonville. The Village of Bentonville fought that for a number of years. Eventually, the city of Chicago prevailed, and they acquired almost a third of our tax base. In doing so, that was one step in the 2005 O'Hare modernization plan. The second step is $8.5 billion that will be spent to finish out the airfield as well as the gate.
So in this new round of expansion, like the renovation of Terminal 5 and the global terminal, like transferring the Terminal 2 into a global terminal, will this bring like extra flights number which may increase the noise?
Correct. It has the potential to. I want to be clear. It's not an expansion plan. This is a reconfiguration of the existing airfield. There's no new land being taken under this proposed plan. So simply a reconfiguration.
Yeah, but
we are fully cognizant, however, that they're not building these runways for fun. They're building them to increase capacity. The only saving grace there is the new runways that will be built next to compatible land uses on the north side of the airfield.
So, yeah, but they are increasing the capacity. Will that be an issue? Like if there are more flights during the night?
So we're constantly monitoring that. But there's little that villages can do. We are active members on the O'Hare Noise Compatibility Commission, the ONCC, and so that's our mechanism to engage the city of Chicago to discuss runway usage, nighttime flight patterns, stuff like that.
And what kind of measure do ITSPA, the Noise Compatibility Commission, and Chicago Department of Aviation can do? Like, what do you expect they to do to tackle with the issue?
So the city of Chicago's got a number of programs to monitor sound, the DNL metric, which that's a whole other discussion with that. That's the appropriate metric rather than LEQ. But DNL is the FAA prescribed method to monitor air noise. So we've got a number of sound monitors in town. We're looking to expand that. And that keeps us monitoring things. Now, the noise contours, the sound contours, those are established with the 2005 OMP plan. Those are based on models. We're going to actively monitor to see if the modeling is correct and matches actual data.
Do you know how many permanent monitors have been installed in your village?
I believe I can look. Hold on, 1 second.
Okay.
I know we have one right here above Village Hall. There's another one going to be installed on Hillside Drive. I can give you the accurate number in 1 second. The Village of Bentonville currently has one monitor located in 96 North Mason Street.
And are there any plans to build more monitors in recent years?
We are currently negotiating with the City of Chicago to install one off of Hillside Drive in one of our principal parks, and that should monitor the noise from runway 10C, which is probably our most severely impacted area.
Ah, okay. So are you the village manager of Bentonville?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. So are you only in charge of the issues related to noise mitigation, or as well as other issues like transportation and? Okay,
the village manager of a community is effectively the CEO of the community. I manage all the day-to-day operations within the village, as well as the budget of $60 million and 200 employees.
Ah, okay. So, what kind of influence do you think the expansion will have in terms of like the real estate perspective? Like, will you boost the real estate price and the rentals, stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, that's a tricky question. I always say that I'm the village manager of two communities. The north side of my community is all industrial, and they live and breathe off of O'Hare. With that industrial real estate, they pay increased property taxes, which helps subsidize the lives of the residents of Bentonville. Now, our residential areas, they've been hard hit. We've lost a lot of our residential area, and we need to work with the City of Chicago as well as the FAA to mitigate the noise as much as possible. So our proximity to O'Hare is our strongest asset. It's also our biggest threat.
Sorry, what is the biggest threat? Sorry.
Our proximity to O'Hare and the noise there. So it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm. But with this project going on, there may be like will it boost the Western development? I mean, because in the future phases there will be like people movers in the plan.
So you're exactly correct. So the one glimmer of hope in this plan is Western access. We would like to see Western access to be included in the initial phases of the $8.5 billion plan. It looks like it's going to be 10 years off. We still implore the city of Chicago to undertake the Western access as soon as possible. We believe it operates, will make the airport as efficient as possible, which is also should be a goal of the city of Chicago. So Western access with efficiency.
So it's currently not in the first phase.
Correct. It's got to be pushed out a while. Right now, the initial phase shows employee parking off of 390. We're going to continue to try to work with the city of Chicago to make that at least some sort of passenger ingress egress. About 65% of all visitors to O'Hare Airport come from west of O'Hare, and it only makes sense for the efficient use of people's time and proximity to enter on the west side.
So what about the ongoing Eldin O'Hare Western Asset EOWA project? Does it also include improvement in the connection between the Western communities and the airport? Do you think that could compensate a little?
Yeah, so the Eldon O'Hare Western Access, I believe it's called Illinois 390 at this point. That is going to be the lifeline of Western Access. That is Western Access. And the tollway has committed to building 6 lanes in and out of O'Hare, which is going to be more than sufficient to handle passenger access once it's there. Right now, with the proposal of employee parking, that will obviously be overbuilt, and I know that the tollway is actually working with the city of Chicago to make sure that they are using efficient use of funds.
What is the time range of that project?
I would have to defer to the Illinois Tollway on that. They're the ones monitoring it.
So do you think there is a gentrification concern in the future if this kind of like Western access is built and with the expansion of the airport? Will it be possible?
I believe that the village of Bensenville is a diverse community. It always has been. It's one of our greatest strengths. I believe we'll maintain being a diverse community. We're a suburban community, a small town, and we look out for our neighbors. So I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Okay. And about the housing price, have you seen it rising or just not much different?
So in 2017, Crane Chicago reported that the average home price value went up 21%.
Okay. Thank you so much for your answers. If I have follow-up questions, may I call back or maybe email you?
Of course, Mandy. Please give me a call at any time.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Have a good one. Thank you.